What's up guys, Eronius here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today's video I'm going to be going over one of the hardest Cursed City stages in the entire game, and that is Cursed City S20 on hard mode. So here it is, S20, I finally beat it, and it took me a while, and I'm going to be going over all the champions, their builds, everything with you. First I'm going to take you through the entire run. Of course my camera OBS cut off for some reason, and I did miss a part of the first round, but honestly, the part of the first round that I'm going to go over is there's only one part that's kind of important, and I'll talk about it. But yeah, this was extremely difficult, especially if you don't have Goffred. So Goffred is a legendary dwarf champion who has the attack all enemies and the block damage passive that keeps your team alive. If you don't have him, it's extremely difficult. So you need one other specific champ potentially, which is this guy here in Mishinaki. Or you need to have a secondary Artak or another AoE champion like a secondary Hotatsu, because he's going to bring in increased defense and healing on your team. So if you don't have Mishinaki, but you have these four, then you need a secondary Hotatsu or a secondary Artak or even a secondary of the Taragi. You could bring in him, but personally, I'd probably bring in a secondary Hotatsu because he has increased defense and continuous heals. So very, very strong champion. I'll go over their kits and everything more towards the end, but let's get into this fight and I'll walk you through the entire fight and how you beat it without having a Goffred and only having a Mishinaki. So let's do this. All right, here we are. Here's the fight pre-recorded. Basically, for the first round here, I'm just killing this annoying champion right there, as you saw. So that champion is actually, let me go ahead and pull him up for you really quick. He got a buff. All right, so War Chief is a skinwalker, and he's extremely annoying. So his passive, whenever an ally under shield buff is hit by an enemy, heals them by 25% of the damage dealt to the shield, increases this champion's defense by 10% for each enemy under a provoke, also increases this champion's defense by 5% for each enemy not under provoke. He places provoke like every single time and heals. Each hit heals this champion and an ally with the lowest HP by 3%, so that's super annoying. And when he hits one enemy, he can steal all buffs and then place provoke on them for 3 turns and a 50% chance of placing provoke on all other enemies for 1 turn, which is insane. So this guy is just nasty. He's absolutely annoying as heck. Also paired with Bambus, who places the shields on the entire team. So he synergizes really well with Bambus. Just a super, super annoying champion in general. So going to beat the first round, you need to make sure you have a CC set. It has to be stun or it has to be provoke. And honestly, the provoke set is the best set, hands down, for this stage. Best set, hands down. Okay? So yes, stun set is going to be better because it will make it so they can't even take a turn, but the provoke set has a higher percentage chance to land. And if you go over to the masteries, you can pick a specific mastery that allows you to get 5% more chance to land that provoke, which is the mastery on the defense tree, Fearsome Presence. Okay, so you want to use this mastery because it gives you a 5% higher chance of placing a stun, sleep, freeze, fear, true fear, provoke, or sheep from skills or artifact sets. So, Fearsome Presence is amazing. Do not sleep on it. And when you take a look at provoke sets in general, as you can see with the provoke set, it's a 30% chance to place a provoke. You technically don't even need Fearsome Presence with this set, but having Fearsome Presence, boosting that to 35% is insane, and it lands so often. Honestly, in Cursed City in general, the provoke set is top tier. Okay, but on many stages you definitely do need a stun set on most stages, but provoke set on some stages works. And this is one of those stages. This is a stage that a provoke set on an Artak is clutch since he AoEs on the A1 every single time. And most players will have Artak if you did his fusion in the past. Or actually, was he a fusion or was he a login champion? I think he was a login champion. So amazing. Coming on to the next wave though. Basically what you want to do is provoke. So see all those provokes? 1, 2, 3 provoke from one hit. And then he HP burned everybody. which can allow your other champions to do more damage depending on which masteries that you're choosing on the offense tree. So keep that in mind, because you can choose certain masteries that do more damage when there's more debuffs on them, or provoke, for example. I think there's one mastery that is actually not opportunist. Opportunist only helps with stun, but if you have HP burn on there, if you have other debuffs on them, then yes, there are some offense tree masteries that can help. So yeah, so we're basically provoking over and over and over. You really don't want this wave to take a turn. If this wave takes a turn, it's almost over. Like, it's pretty much over. And I've had to fight the same wave at least 30 times. It was so annoying, and you need RNG, which sucks. But when I used the provoke set, that was when I wasn't using the provoke set. When I used the provoke set over the stun set, I was using stun on my Artak prior, but now using the provoke set, I'm just provoking like every single time. And I think you still need accuracy to utilize the provoke set. So I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure you still need accuracy to land the provoke. I'm not 100% on that, but I would just build it with accuracy just in case. And because I know with some masteries like the Evil Eye, you need accuracy to land Evil Eye on the mastery. So, and that's also a very helpful support mastery as well for Curse City if you want to turn back their turn meter by 5%, or I believe 10% depending on the skills. I think it's 20% for single target and 5% for AoE skills. So yeah, you definitely want to try your best to keep them provoked as much as possible. You do not want these champions to remove debuffs. If they remove debuffs, it's pretty much over because they place so many buffs. The only thing that you're going to see that I did with Mishinaki was cleanse all the buffs. So I stripped all the buffs that they put. I put my Mishinaki in a relentless set so you can go as often as possible. And you're going to want at least 500 plus accuracy on your Mishinaki in a relentless set if you can help it. If you can't get a relentless set, then you can try out another set, just all accuracy like perception, feral sets, things like that. Actually, feral will be really helpful here because these two annoying Grazors place provoke. Then you definitely won't get provoked for the first time. However, two of them place provokes, so you got to be careful. He does have a long cooldown on the provoke. I think it's like 4 turns or something like that. So that's not too bad, but you got to kill them within 4 turns. If you don't kill them or provoke them over and over and over, they're going to get back around to their AoE provoke. And that's how things get out of hand. Things are out of sync, and then you end up dying. So as you can see, the Grazors died first. I killed them with the poisons because Gerptuk kind of naturally kills his own team. Yes, he increases the damage they do to you, but he basically kills his own team. So it's actually helpful to have the Gerptuk place the poisons on his own team, and therefore they're just going to die even faster with the poison ticks as well. So that was kind of helpful for me. And then, of course, you see Hotatsu coming in there as a support nuke champion. I do have him as my nuker, and he's doing the most damage in general, like straight up damage. However, I think my Artak does the most damage due to HP burns, but we'll see at the end. But yeah, Hotatsu is a damage dealer as well as support-based champion, places the increased defense, places the continuous heals. He keeps on healing everybody up to full, and so you have to have Hotatsu here, in my opinion. I don't know anybody who ever played this stage without having a Hotatsu, unless you have Goffred. So Goffred could come in and he could help with these stuns on all enemies. Obviously, Goffred's way better in this position, but you know, you could also place Goffred in place of what's his name, Duck the Pierce. You know, Duck has a good decreased attack, decreased defense, so we can do more damage. But as you can see, we're kind of working our way through these last two. And it was getting a little bit dicey with Artak towards the end here. He was starting to lose tons and tons of his HP. And then, of course, his passive destroys his own max HP. So that's kind of annoying. And then you see Gerptuk healing up. He's super annoying as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the last wave here. So basically, we just end up wiping out this wave by continuously trying. Look at, I almost died with Artak several times. So Artak can be a little bit challenging to keep alive, so you want to use Taragi to help protect, and you want to use Hotatsu to increase defense as much as possible. All right, so let's fast forward here a little bit, get to the end where we take them out. So yeah, you see at the end, I end up placing a provoke or killing them. Yeah, there you go. And then we move on to the last stage. So this one much easier than the second wave, because you can provoke the Sifi and provoke the Necrit as well. You can't provoke the Rotos because Sifi's passive will cleanse the Rotos of all debuffs and then go in with the nukes. So Rotoses are the only ones that are a big problem. And then of course you've got your annoying UDK. So it's really difficult to kill UDK without Artak, placing HP burns on everybody, and just stunning the UDK like that with that stun set on Duck the Pierce, and then coming in with a nuke. So as you can see, I'm nuking with my Hotatsu. He's the one with all the damage on him. And he's an epic champion, so he's very usable, very viable. I love Hotatsu. I've always utilized him in Clan Boss prior to getting a full unkillable team. But there you go. The HP burns go on, and then the goal would be to blow up those HP burns right afterwards, and then just keep on cycling through. And then, of course, the Mishinaki, this is where he comes in handy because we can't place any debuffs. I'll say, okay, so now we're going to strip them. Boom. Strip off all those buffs and then blow them up with the Artak. I mean, they would have been blown up regardless from the Artak because of the HP burns landing prior to her placing all those buffs. But you know what? We do it anyways. We'll do more damage. And then I want to place increased defense here, or I want to go and attack the UDK. So we're trying to take out the UDK as quickly as possible because there you see she's starting to revive the Rotos. So we're just doing as much damage as possible. Of course, the UDK still didn't die. This is where Taragi is clutch, where you have him in a bolster set. He's got a lot of HP. Put him in a bolster. He's going to soak up tons and tons of damage here. If you do not have enough HP on your Taragi and enough defense and enough speed, then he's not going to work. He's also good with good accuracy, at least 350. I would recommend 350 accuracy to land the poisons. So there you go, 8 minutes and 41 seconds. As you can see, Hotatsu hit 864,000 damage. Mishinaki, yeah, because he has Relentless set on and taking extra AoE turns. He's actually with the most, 1.3 million. And then we've got Artak with 801,000 damage. So yeah, Taragi was there for healing. He's healing himself. He's placing the protection on your team. So really cool. So let me go over to the tavern and showcase to you all the gear sets that I have on my champions and talk a little bit further about them. All right, here we are. So I am in the tavern taking a look at these champions. So first we start off with Artak. Now, as you can see, the gear is already off of him because I've been farming other stages of Curse City. So I swapped the gear around a lot and it's very expensive to do so, but I'm trying my best to get Carnage on my free-to-play account here. It's been difficult. So for presets, I have tons of presets. You should be utilizing your presets every single time in Curse City. If you're not, just build them up one by one. You don't need to do them all in one day. Just build up your presets over time. It's going to be helpful for you for the future. So I utilized a provoke set, which of course is not here for some reason. I must have not saved that preset unless it's on this one. Stun, curse bolster, stun, HP nuke, damage, relentless. Yeah, so it looks like I did not save the provoke set that I utilized, which is kind of frustrating. And this happens sometimes. Sometimes I forget to save some of these sets, and it makes it so much easier for other stages. But yes, I had him in a provoke set, and he was at least 210 speed, I think, about 210 speed, and he was around 500, close to 500 accuracy, because you want to be able to land that HP burn on the second wave, even when they place the resistance buff. However, if you can strip the resistance buff from Mishinaki, then you can land it without having 500 accuracy. So in that case, you need around 350 accuracy. So feral set is going to be amazing here. A block debuffs on the wearer at the start of the turn is awesome. And then 50% chance to prevent the placement of sheep. You don't need this. But block debuffs is actually really impactful. So feral set would be insane. Actually, I thought feral placed the intercept stack, but I guess not. It's just pinpoint. So feral does place block debuff, which is really nice, and it gives you tons of accuracy. So really cool. And then moving on to skills, I have him fully maxed with Miracle Heal. That's his skill or blessing that I utilize for the Ice Golem. And then masteries, I went with Fearsome Presence because of the provoke set. So I did swap his masteries. If I want to swap them back, I have to pay 150 gems, which I'm not going to do at this time. For Mishinaki, yeah, I know it's frustrating. You got to swap masteries sometimes, but I just couldn't beat it. And so I swapped his mastery to Fearsome Presence, and you saw he was placing provokes like crazy. For Mishinaki, I do have him in an old like PvE build, counterattacks, and War Master with some damage as well. So he is a decent damage dealer. As you saw, he was the best damage dealer there. I do have him in Relentless. So Relentless and Perception with a Feral piece here. So I would recommend going at least 550 accuracy if you can get it. So look how low his defense is. 3,500. You don't need 5, 6, 7K defense to beat this. But he does have 230 plus speed. And I will say, oh, keep in mind, Curse City. So I do have area bonuses built up. So, I mean, his defense doesn't go up much. His speed does go up. So if you want to focus on area bonuses, I know people hate Live Arena, but you got to focus at least on the speed. So try to max out your area bonus with speed. That's going to be extremely impactful. The accuracy and resistance didn't really help me much for this. You only need 550 accuracy, and I was already hitting the accuracy threshold without the additional accuracy from area bonuses. The only thing that is going to be super impactful for Curse City is going to be speed. You only do the other area bonuses with like resistance, accuracy, HP, and stuff when you've, basically maxed out the speed. So speed should be the main factor here for Curse City for area bonuses. You need to level that up. So I did put him in damage, crit damage, accuracy here, accuracy sets with damage. This one's a nice piece right here for a defense nuker. Accuracy on the chest, and then just speed, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy is what we're looking for on the other Relentless pieces. For skills, he's maxed. I do have him in Survival Instinct. Partially fills a turn meter whenever a debuff place spread or transferred onto them. And because he gets provoked sometimes, this is helpful. And then for this one, Hotatsu, one of the best champions, epic champions in the game for Curse City. So he's amazing because he removes one random debuff from the start of the champion's turn and will remove stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, petrification before any other debuffs. I put him in cruelty because he's going to help with lessening the target's defense. He does read a lot of books here. I mean, geez, like tons and tons of books, but it's definitely beneficial for him. And you want to get the cooldowns on the A2 and the A3. 3-turn cooldown, increased defense with continuous heal on all allies, and then attacks all enemies, 50% chance placing a decreased attack, and it books out to 60, 70, 80%. Of course, if you do have the sniper, this one here you could put on him. Personally, I recommend going the defense tree instead. I built him for damage with Helm Smasher, and every time he gets a kill, I made sure that he goes faster, and then also Life Drinker to heal up if he's under half health. So very, very strong. Also, defense in all battles by 25% is very strong. Do not sleep on it. But of course, I think I used Mishinaki's defense in all battles by 30%, which is a little bit stronger. So there you go. I did put him in a lethal and perception. He's missing the amulet just because I swapped it onto a different champion for Curse City. And I did throw on a pinpoint piece here. Not that it did a ton because pinpoint's just going to help with accuracy. That's awesome. So if we want to get at least, you need at least 320 or 300 accuracy minimum. But because I do have, again, the Curse City, I got 330 because I added 24 plus on the accuracy here. So aim for about 320 accuracy if you can help it. 350 to guarantee your landing of your abilities. So yeah, not bad. Lethal, perception, decent damage. He's at 221 crit damage, but with the crit damage amulet, he was around like 250, 260, 5200 on the defense. Taragi, bolster set. Definitely bolster set. I don't know what else would help. I think you have to have bolster because you have to have the healing. You could probably go with shield, but it's not going to do nearly as much work for you. I don't think you want to depend on just placing the increased defense and continuous heal from Hotatsu because the second wave, the champion in Gerptuk, he places block, buff, debuffs. So if he places block, buff, then you're screwed because you can't place the continuous heal on Taragi. And then Taragi's taking all that damage from placing ally protection, and then he has no way of healing himself. So you have to put bolster, in my opinion. So bolster helps out a ton. Maybe you can get it to work without bolster, but I kind of doubt it. Maybe you could go with an immortal set and a shield set, possibly, but the healing is not as good. You're going to get 3% healing from the immortal set as compared to the bolster set of 10%. So I think that the bolster set is just so much stronger here with the additional shields and healing by 10%. So yeah, you could also do bolster and immortal, which gives you 13% healing, but you need to hit the accuracy. And the reason why I put the perception is because I couldn't hit the accuracy threshold of 320, 330. So there you go. And then in terms of HP, 103,000, defense, 3,100, 227 speed, 338 on the accuracy. I swapped this bolster set around to all my support champions in Curse City. And I'm focusing on maxing out this bolster set specifically to utilize on all my support champs in Curse City. So 247 speed because of the area bonus, 105,000 HP. I get it. You probably maybe you don't hit this much HP. I would recommend going for at least 90,000 if you can help it. 85,000 is pushing it. The lower your HP, the worse off you are with him potentially dying from protecting your allies. Last but not least, we've got Duck the Pierce. So Duck the Pierce, I put him in a stun set and immortal. The reason why I put him in immortal is because he kept dying. He kept dying on wave 2, and then he was also dying on wave 3 because he wasn't getting enough healage from the Hotatsu. So stun set and immortal really, really helped him out. I'm going to max out this set for future reference. Total stats, 4,000 defense, 47,000 on the HP, 235 speed. You want him going before everybody, or at least second. So that way he can land the decreased defense, the decreased attack. He can land the provoke, which is awesome. He can land it up to 3 champions with the provoke. And then he can land decreased accuracy as well on champions, for example, like the Grazors or the annoying champ in the beginning that places all the provokes. So for masteries, I went with Fearsome Presence to help land the stuns from the stun set. So it boosts it from 18% chance to a 23% chance to land. Very, very helpful. He is in some damage, not much. You do want to try to get the crit rate to 100%, so that way you have a higher chance of landing the decreased defense for 2 turns on each critical. However, he does always land the decreased attack for 2 turns. He doesn't need to hit a critical on the first decreased attack skill. And then for his skills, fully booked, masteries, there they are. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you stuck here? Are you trying to figure out other teams to utilize or champions to utilize for the stage? Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I'm actually interested in those who didn't ever use a Mishinaki, and who else did you use in place of Mishinaki if you were to beat this stage. Thank you so much again for watching. Good luck in your S20 stage in hard mode Curse City, and I'll see you on a video soon. Take care.